People versus Quinton David Tyson. And Mr. Tyson's here for sentencing. Prosecution and defense was the pre-sentence investigation report timely made available to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
It was, Your Honor.
Mr. Miller, have you had the opportunity to read the report and discuss it with your client?
I've had, Your Honor.
Do you have any additions, corrections, or challenges?
I do, Your Honor. At the plea agreement, it says pled guilty, but there was no contest plea in this matter. So it needs to be changed there, and also on the right-hand side where it says convicted by.
All right, we'll make those changes.
Besides that, Your Honor, that's all I have.
All right, is there anything that you'd like to say on his behalf?
Your Honor, I actually have a letter from my client's pastor and some AA. Would you like to see that?
Okay. I understand that you have a negotiated sentence, but
We do. I just.
that's fine. We'll take a look at it. Anything else that you want the court to consider?
Just briefly, Your Honor, I think, the PSI, is recommending that the plea be followed as well. In this particular case, my client had no prior criminal record. He's got a great support system. His parents, have been involved with this process and all court hearings, meetings at my office. They're present in the courtroom here today behind me. My client has no prior criminal record. He's young. Obviously, this has been a huge issue in his life and a wake-up call. He's taken steps, as you can see from the documents that I just handed to the court, to correct it and make sure that this doesn't happen again in the future. And as a result, Your Honor, we'd ask the court to schedule sent my client pursuant to the plea agreement.
All right, and Mr. Tyson, have you had the opportunity to read the report and discuss it with Mr. Miller?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any additions, corrections, or challenges?
No, sir.
Is there anything that you want to say on your own behalf?
Your Honor, I've been living the past few years of my life very wrong. I've taken life for granted. I've been stuck in a cycle of bad decisions that have been controlled by substance abuse. At times, the person I was unrecognizable, not only to myself, but to the people that I love and care about the most. I've always been somebody who thought I didn't need help with anything and thought I could do everything on my own. And these last few months, since this all happened, I've been completely sober. And as Mr. Miller stated, I've been going to AA meetings, receiving counseling from my lead pastor at Resurrection Life Church in Cadillac. I can honestly say that the help is much needed, and I'm disappointed in myself for not doing it a lot earlier in my life. As well, on May 30th, my lead pastor baptized me, and I've accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And I know that the old selfish version of me is dead and in the past, and I will continue to prove that every single day for the rest of my life. This is a huge wake-up call and is absolutely my rock bottom. And I just want to apologize from the bottom of my heart to everyone I failed, especially the victim and my boss and my parents. Thank you, Your Honor.
So what did you think when you read the victim's impact statement that was in the pre-sentence investigation report?
It's hard to read, and I'm disappointed in myself.
And Ms. Robinson, any additions, corrections, or challenges?
No, Your Honor.
Anything that you want the court to consider?
Your Honor, the victim, Emma Shepers, is here and would like to address the court.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm going to read a statement on her behalf.
Okay.
Quinton David Tyson, you systematically tried to destroy me, but you failed. You lied to others, attempting to paint me as insane, all to deflect from your own monstrous behavior. Those lies and your actions deeply impacted my life, especially my religious beliefs. It's a cruel irony that you sought baptism after abusing multiple women as if a dip in the water could cleanse the filth of your deeds. But here's the truth you can't escape. You took the first plea deal offered. That wasn't an act of remorse. It was an admission of guilt. It proved everything I said, and it proved you cannot make me out to be the bad person anymore. You are the abuser, and everyone knows it now. You inflicted extensive and deeply damaging abuse, both physically and psychologically. On February 21st, around 2 a.m., you physically assaulted me while I was sleeping, hitting me in the face and strangling me. That attack left a laceration under my eye, a bruised and cut lip, a clear hand mark bruise on my neck, and bruising on my arms and legs. While those physical wounds have mostly healed, the emotional and psychological scars run much deeper. They have forever changed how I view relationships and trust. The physical attack was only a fraction of what you inflicted. You would scream so close to my face that my ears would ring, and you'd grab my hair to pull me close and scream at me. You constantly called me names and degraded me, especially when my past or current lifestyle didn't meet your expectations. A major factor in the longevity of my suffering was the isolation you enforced. You prevented me from reaching out for help by constantly going through my phone. You blocked doors, take my phone, even throwing it so I couldn't find it, and take my keys when I tried to leave, all to escape your verbal, emotional, and physical abuse. You repeatedly accused me of things I didn't do, like sleeping with my boss. Many people told me after I left you that you would look at me as if you wanted to kill me. I saw that same look in your eyes, which is why I was terrified to leave and didn't know where to start. You have a profound sense of control that is truly unnatural. Your manipulation was incredibly confusing. You could make me feel euphoric, heartbroken, guilty, suicidal, worthless, and in love all at the same time. I hate how pure my intentions were and that I still ended up being taken advantage of. How can someone make you feel so loved and worthless simultaneously? The abuse also took a significant financial toll. I've had to take time off work to begin healing and therapy, which created a financial strain. The medical expenses from the physical and sexual abuse also added to this burden. When I left you, I was in such shock and fear for my life that I had to leave many of my beloved belongings behind, trying to escape quickly before you could hurt me again. Now I'm having to replace those things. During our relationship, I was also forced to go on work and hunting trips with you, which I helped pay for and had to miss work to attend. Those are just a few examples of your unnatural need to control over every aspect of my life, my friendships, work, phone, and even my eating habits. The thought of you coming back to hurt me has consumed my thoughts. I've been living in constant fear of seeing you at the grocery store, restaurants, and while driving due to your unpredictable and abusive nature. I constantly check my rearview mirror, terrified you might be following me. I wake up in a panic from nightmares, reliving the strangulation and abuse. This trauma has led to PTSD, anxiety, and depression. My brain often feels numb, and trying to recall what happened causes an uncomfortable pressure in the back of my head, along with significant physical and emotional pain. The stress can cause me to feel extremely anxious, have extreme panic attacks, and mentally disappear on a daily basis. Your actions have profoundly impacted my ability to trust others. I have a hard time trusting people's intentions and rebuilding the healthy relationships I had before you. You are unpredictable and highly dangerous to the community and other vulnerable women. You have a serial record of abusing women physically and mentally. I don't know if I will ever be able to fully trust again, but someday I hope to be in the arms of a safe person. Before you, I had a vibrant social life, strong connections with friends and family, and good relationships with employers and professors. You systematically degraded my friends and family, disrespected their lifestyles, and forced me to abandon those important connections. It is incredibly hard to rebuild that trust now. To your parents, Jeff and Deb, I am standing here today because of the choices your son made and the pain he inflicted throughout the process. I've watched you support him and take him on trips. I've also heard your denials of his wrongdoings, which is why I want you to understand the gravity of his actions. Deb, you verbally told me on the phone when I informed you of the abuse that I was leaving him. I think this happened to the last two girls. They just weren't honest with us. You were well aware of Quinton's abusive pattern and continue to allow it without him facing any consequences. That ends with me today. To your sister, Carly, you have 3 daughters. I urge you to consider the reality of Quinton's actions and the potential danger he poses, not only to me, but to others. According to the Training Institute on Strangulation, a woman who has suffered a non-fatal strangulation incident with her intimate partner is 750% more likely to be killed by the same perpetrator with a gun. This isn't just about what happened to me, it's about a pattern of violence that escalates. I hope you will reflect on this truth and the danger your continued support of him poses to others. How would you react if this had happened to one of your beautiful daughters? To Judge Springstead, I hope that you will understand my vulnerability and pass on a sentence fitting to the crimes Quinn has pled to. And lastly, I want to extend a very special thank you to my friend Rachel Vaudry for your endless support, for never judging me, for always being there. Without your support, I wouldn't be where I am today. I am so grateful. To the other 2 girls abused by Quinn, for your bravery in working with the prosecution and telling your story, and to everyone else who has been involved and has believed and supported me.
Thank you. Any thoughts about that, Mr. Tyson?
I'm disappointed in myself. As you know, many of those things stretch the truth. I know what happened and the way that we've taken, and I'm just deeply sorry. I'm disappointed in myself and have a long road ahead.
What are you disappointed specifically about?
About my actions and letting drugs and alcohols, weed and alcohol, control my decisions, and ultimately made me somebody that I didn't recognize at times. And I'm not that person, and I can prove it and do better with my life.
Some people say that drugs and alcohol just magnify who you are, not change who you are.
I will be changed, Your Honor.
And either what you said, do you think that you're controlling? Did you have problems with other relationships, or is that all nonsense?
That's the extent of that is nonsense. The control came from finding things in the phone, which she's given me permission to go through the phone. And I'm not saying that my actions were any okay about that night and what I did when I was very drunk. But the control factor, I found things, messages for wanting her ex back, and instead of just being bold and getting out of the relationship, it turned into wanting to see her phone more often. It turned everything downhill. I wish I would have been out long before.
Well, as part of probation, they're going to have a whole bunch of counseling for you to go through. Hopefully you take it to heart. Right now, I don't get that. I don't get any remorse from you. I don't get that you even have any sort of insight into what you put her through. But maybe going through counseling programs, maybe you'll see it. If you don't, you'll be back. And I see a lot of people that come back over and over and over again. It's never their fault. It's always the woman's fault. You know, the jealousy and running around and all that kind of stuff. And but stalking, assaultive stuff, it's going to happen again. If you don't let down your guard, take an honest, hard look at who you are and what you were doing, and let somebody try and help. I'm all for religion, but that's you need more than being saved. So the court recognizes that the advisory guidelines would suggest a sentence between 10 and 23 months. Courts have exercised my discretion and sentence consistent with the advisory guidelines, consistent with the plea agreement in this case. And Mr. Tyson, I can tell you, if you didn't have this negotiated sentence, I would have given you more. I'd have sent you to prison. But you've got the benefit of this plea agreement. You've got no record. You got work history. But you're going to spend 1 year in the county jail, credit for 2 days. There's a $68 state cost assessment, a $60 DNA fee, $130 crime victims' rights fund fee, no restitution, $2,875 payable to the victim in this case. Court's going to place you on probation for 3 years. There's a $30 per month probation oversight fee for regular probation, $60 a month electronic monitoring for tether, and how soon can you pay your restitution and financial assessments?
As soon as it's available. I'm not sure how that goes.
Mr. Young?
Well, I guess one question I had was the restitution was based off a victim impact statement of what she is expecting to pay. So you're ordering that right now without, I mean, that's part of it.
You didn't object to it when it was in the report, and that's part of what we do. So I took that you accept that. And what she's been through, it doesn't sound like it's unreasonable to, figure that she's going to need a year's worth of counseling. And the rest of it seem to be in line, but
Well,
if you're asking for a restitution hearing, you have the right to have a restitution hearing.
Well, I guess, I just think, address to the court that she's saying it's for 1 year of counseling, which is, 1 time per week. I'm not saying that's not unreasonable, but what if she doesn't complete that?
What if she needs more?
Good.
You want to have a restitution hearing then?
Your Honor, he'll just accept that number and they can pay that right away.
Pay right away? Okay.
We do have a bond also by a Jeff that says that we could use that towards it. And it's $10,000 that he paid.
Okay. So was it a 10% bond or was it the full cash?
Full cash.
Okay. All right. So because it's a full cash bond, the court does not take a fee out of that. The court would apply that to pay the financial assessments. The balance would be returned to the person that posted it. All right. And Mr. Tyson, you do have the right to make application if you need to appeal your conviction sentence. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court appointed attorney represents you on appeal. The request for a lawyer must be filed with the court within 42 days. You have the right to petition the court for early discharge of probation if you successfully complete after your term.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.